We're
Ooh.
here today on Country Pocket with the Doohickeys. Their new album is All Hat, No Cattle, and they're playing New York, February 21st. Guys, how are you? Why don't you introduce yourselves?
We're great. I'm Haley.
I'm Jack, and we together are the
The
Doohickeys. I
Doohickeys.
don't know how this works with the Zoom lag. That probably didn't line up at all.
I mean, I thought we'd practiced it. So
Well,
Uh,
not
it,
with the lag.
it
that's fair.
didn't line up quite as perfectly as you might.
Yeah,
On
Uh,
my end, it did. So that's fair.
my end was like that was
yeah,
way
because
off.
she's the one that's lagging.
That's fair.
Um,
Well, it's raining here. It's one of those classic Los Angeles rainy days. So I'm sure the
Every
internet's gonna go out. Just a little bit of moisture is gonna kill all the power. It's gonna be really fun for the next couple of days.
well, I've heard there have been worse days in Los Angeles. Um, first track you heard
Yeah.
is called "This Town Sucks," and I felt like it was a really important one for me to choose to introduce this album because you definitely do a lot of making fun of some country living tropes, but you make something quite clear in this song, which is that you two, as people from the country, have every right to make fun of it, but the city slickers you surround yourselves with now, it's not as cool if they do it.
I would never probably describe what we do as cool, but I will take it. Jack's giving me a weird look. No.
Well, I'm not from the country. I can't sit here. I am the title of the album. I am all hat, no cattle. I have never touched a cow. Haley has put her hand up the butt of a horse. She is the country. I am the city. And I've actually spent a lot of time in New York. I love New York. I'm very happy to come back and play New York. Uh, the funny thing with this town sucks. Haley, we were trying to come up with like how to subvert certain tropes that reflect more of how we feel about the world. And so one of them was people saying about their small towns. To me, I was like, these small towns sound terrible. And then Haley wrote this beautiful song about her hometown. She's like, I don't know how to make it funny. And I was like, what if we just cut to the chase and just said this town sucks? Because the town you described sounds absolutely terrible to me.
I wrote it thinking it wasn't an absolutely terrible town, and then we adjusted as we went. I think that's yeah. The most of our songwriting, we both touch it, and we both I guess bring our own experiences. Jack from Atlanta, me from Liberty, Missouri. We put ourselves into it, even if it's not necessarily what you'd hear in mainstream country. I think every mainstream country artist has a song about their hometown, so that's our version.
It's certainly different, and you're living in Los Angeles now. Haley, this one is especially for you. What's the difference between Liberty, Missouri, and Los Angeles?
Ooh, the biggest differences, I would say, I
Indoor
mean,
plumbing.
hey, we got that in Liberty. Uh, no, but I think my hometown folk would kill me if I said something like that.
That's
But
why I say it.
that's why Jack can. It's true. No, but I think Liberty, it's just a small town feel. It's everybody knows everybody. You can go to the grocery store and see everyone you know. So I love both being there for that reason and seeing all my friends from high school when I go out. But I also like that I can be in LA and be anonymous when I go to Trader Joe's and nobody knows who I am. And I don't have to put on pants that are real pants. I will wear pants to the grocery store, but
I
not
was
nice
gonna
ones.
say,
I mean, maybe you don't even have to. It is
Honestly,
LA.
in LA.
Fashion's strange out here. You can
It's
kind of wear
true.
a trash bag and be fine.
It's true.
you lived through some recent experiences in LA and kind of went viral as a result of auditioning to play Dolly Parton while fleeing the wildfires.
It's true. It was something I had on my docket of like to-do list for all of Christmas break, and then I just didn't get to it. And then when it was sort of like, what am I going to sing? I thought put a lot of thought and time into it, and then it was all of a sudden we had to evacuate, and then all of a sudden we had to evacuate from where we were evacuated to, and so it was a double evacuation, and it was like, well, I can't quite spend the same energy I wanted to on this audition in the same way, but I think it wound up helping it because it just wound up being a little more honest about what the circumstances were rather than I don't know. It was fun. I could not believe the online response. It was nuts. It was a really nice positive moment in a very scary week. But we're okay. LA's rebuilding. We've got a lot of people that are coming together in the community, and it's been great to see.
Yeah, Jack, what was your experience like dealing with these fires? I know it's not at least since the Civil War, a problem that's plagued Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whole city burned down. But that was a group of people did that one. Um, but it was scary because I've never been through anything like that before. Um, I remember actually the night Haley was gonna record her Dolly audition. We were gonna shoot that, and we're gonna maybe shoot some other stuff for our social media. And she lost power to her place because the winds here were like 100 miles an hour, something crazy. So it's just stuff was just getting knocked down. And so then Haley came here to shoot it here. I was like, we'll use the nice mics and camera. I'll bring my lighting gear out. We'll do everything right. And then right when she got here, the power went out here, and they couldn't shoot anything. It was just game over. And
But I
then
learned to
the
play
next
blackjack.
learn to play. I taught Haley how to play blackjack and craps
Yeah,
and
craps
some
is fun.
other casino games that'll destroy her bank account. And then the next morning, we both woke up to black skies and like an Amber Alert on our phone saying, "You should probably leave your house."
Yeah, yeah. Difficult time for sure. Glad to see you're both okay. This album is, how do I put it gently? It's not something that's meant to be listened to with a straight face. It, there are some songs that are a little more genuine and traditional than others, but for the most part, this is somewhere between comedy and country. Um, and nothing in my mind encapsulates the fact that it's got a country flavor. It's really made to be laughed at, and at the same time, it's meant to deliver some pretty revolutionarily nice messages. And one called "I wish my truck was bigger."
We all do.
To finish that quote, because then I would feel like a man. Um, that is a bold song to go, to say the least. How were you expecting to get any mainstream radio play on that one?
I mean, when we wrote it, we weren't even really a band. We were writing it for like sketch comedy. And so that was one of the other things, like, what's some of the tropes of country music that doesn't feel organic to us? And a lot of it is talking about your truck. Sorry, world, I don't drive a truck. I drive a Honda CRV. It's sensible for the city I'm in. Um, but yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's just like there's always, because I grew up around trucks that were lifted and had like all these kitted out things. And to me, I was always like, man, I will never have a truck that big. And then obviously you put on the double entendre. And I just feel like the real thing is like people have this machismo, manly persona in country music. Very rarely do we talk about our insecurities. And that's where I think Haley and I like to live, is like, how do we actually feel about ourselves, and our low self-esteems come in and like kind of drive some of these more subverting concepts that are really funny to us, because it's just most of the songs, go listen to them, they're kind of about just insecurity.
I think it's a way to self-express some of these ideas that feel, at least to us, like they're coming from an authentic place of, even though it's a silly concept maybe for mainstream radio. I think it's an earnest concept to us. We just like to laugh about it, and that's I
Just
think
a
we
funny
really
rapper.
yeah, exactly.
Because you can't do a real sad song about that. That's just like pathetic. You gotta laugh at it.
Oh, I'm trying to imagine what a sad song about that particular topic would sound like.
It'd be tragic. Would it be any fun?
I don't know. I think it might be funnier than what you guys wound up with.
Maybe we gotta go revise. It started out really slow, that song, and very heartfelt. I think because we started the band on accident. That's kind of the origin story. Is that we both moved to LA to do comedy, and we met up at a party post college, and Jack was playing all the good country music in his room, and I was like, "Oh wait, you like the good stuff?" And he was like, "You like the good stuff. What if we wrote some comedy sketches around the country music that we like, kind of making fun of the stuff that we don't like?" And so we thought we wrote a few songs. We thought we'd try them out in an open mic. And then the open mic was like, "Hey, you guys want to come back next week and play the paid spot?" And we were like, "Yeah." And then we just kept getting booked. So we were like, "I think we're a band now." And that's how the band formed. So it was not
Out of
entirely
necessity, yeah.
intentional. Yeah, but it worked out. I think we both are very intentional about it now. But yeah.
Well, it certainly makes sense to me that the two of you started out in comedy. I also think that subverting that whole machismo thing is that at the end of this song, the truck is fine as long as my lady gets to where she's going.
That's right.
And it's sort of shifting the perspective of every male country song with a truck and a girl and her skinny jeans. And all of a sudden, we're talking about how the woman is going to get enjoyment out of all this. And that is somehow in this world something that only shows up on a comedy track, which is
It
the
is
greatest joke of
unfortunate.
them all.
What I'll say is I'm shocked about the number of deep dives people have had on this song. I just thought people would kind of glaze over it, but people have really pulled out meaning, which I'm very happy about.
People have pulled out meaning from a lot of the songs in ways that have made me think about them differently. I think sometimes we were very conscious of what the meanings behind stuff were, and then sometimes people are pulling things, and I'm like, I guess we did mean it that way,
I
but
guess
I
we
didn't
kind of
mean
did,
for it
yeah.
to be that
Yeah.
way. So
So, just before we go to break and play the song, guys, if you see someone with a huge truck, lifted wheels, all that stuff, are they compensating?
Yes, or they own a towing company.
I hope the latter. I don't know. My mom's got a lifted truck. I love my mom. It's not fully lifted,
Well, well, how
but it
big?
has a compensating. Compensating.
Compensating. All right. All right. We've got I wish my truck was bigger, and we'll be right back.